Hello, everybody. Welcome to the YNTAAY Mayonnaise. I'm Chris Smith, and this is part 6 of my Playbill collection. Now, when last we left off, I was telling you about a trip that I made in May of 2004, and I saw, and at the end of the last video, part 5, I talked about seeing Caroline or Change, one of my favorites, and then I hightailed it on the train all the way to the Paper Mill Playhouse in New Jersey, and I saw Baby. And that is where we're starting today with the very next day. I went to see Assassins at the Roundabout Theatre Company's Studio 54. It's the Stephen Sondheim musical, and it was the revival starring Mr. Neil Patrick Harris. And this was the 2 o'clock show. And yes, it was exciting going to Studio 54 because if current me went back in time to the late 70s and tried to get into Studio 54 when it was a big disco, I would not be allowed in because I'm not hip enough, and now I'm too old. And if I had gone in the 70s, I would have just been a little child. They probably wouldn't have let me in either, unless I was Drew Barrymore or somebody. So I saw Assassins starring Neil Patrick Harris. But wait, look what fell out of the program, something you don't want to see when you're there to see Mr. Neil Patrick Harris. Yes, the roles of Balladeer and Lee Harvey Oswald, usually performed by Neil Patrick Harris, will be performed by Chris Peluso. Now, everybody breathe. It's all right. Understudies and standbys are very well-trained people, and they do a great job, and so did Chris Peluso, I'm sure. But still, the disappointment that comes over you it's just all-consuming. But there were still other great people in the cast. There were Michael Cerveris, James Barber, Mario Cantone of Sex and the City fame and other things. So many people. Neil Patrick Harris, no, not him. Dennis O'Hare was in this version. Becky Ann Baker. Alexander Giamatti. Yes, so, it's a very good show, but that's disappointing when you don't get to see the one you wanted to see. Here's that page. But an excellent revival. Next up, I went to see The Normal Heart, the Larry Kramer play set in 1981 to 1984 that dealt with the AIDS crisis and the people who worked behind the scenes trying to fight to get help for the poor people who were dying. Everybody was dying, and nobody in the government was doing anything about it. An amazing play. It was turned into an incredible movie on HBO. Was it a miniseries, or it was like 4 hours or something? Well, this version starred Raul Esparza, Joanna Gleason, Billy Warlock of Days of Our Lives and General Hospital and Baywatch, and so many things. Richard Beacons. Excellent play. Yes, and then that was a Sunday night. On Monday, I saw another off-Broadway show, Bear, a pop opera. This was on May 10th, 2004. Their playbill their program wasn't really a playbill. Now, I love Bear. It's not a perfect show. Oh, look, there must have been some sort of confetti or something that fell from the sky, or I don't even remember now how this was used, but I saved 2 of the pieces. I do that sometimes when I see these shows, and I think I got some for Frozen. See my review of Frozen at the Pantages Theater on tour. So this is about, there's no pictures of the cast to show you. I'm sorry. It's about a Catholic school or something, and these two boys are gay, and they've fallen in love, and one is pretending not to be, and the other, it's a beautiful. They're performing Romeo and Juliet in their school play. It's a very good show. I recommend it. I did get this. I didn't get a poster for it. Here's the envelope that the tickets came in, I believe, maybe. But this is a little card, and it was already folded. I would never fold anything like this. Let's see. Then look, there's a limited $35 ticket offer. $35. You can't see a show for $35 nowadays. Let us go back in time. Then on Tuesday at 7 o'clock, May 11, 2004, I saw Fiddler on the Roof, the revival, at the Minskoff Theater. Oh, where was that? Bear was playing at the American Theater of Actors on 54th Street, in case you were wondering. Okay, so Fiddler on the Roof. This was the revival, one of many revivals. This was the version with Alfred Molina. It had the great Randy Graff, Nancy Opel, Stephen Lee Anderson, so many people. I mean, yes, nobody's really jumping out at me, and forgive me. Oh my gosh, Lea Michele was in it. Look, Lea Michele was in it, and I, in those days, did not know who Lea Michele was or who she was going to be. But she was. So, like I always say, kids, you never know who you're going to see. So keep those playbills. Okay, on Wednesday, the 12th, 2004, I saw Bombay Dreams. I have this poster in my apartment, but it's hanging in my roommate's bathroom. I did not enjoy Bombay Dreams except for that one song, Shakalaka Baby, Shakalaka Baby. I didn't like the way the guy treated his grandmother and his friend when he became a big Bollywood star. Now we have a couple of people out at this performance. I don't think they were the lead characters or lead actors or anything, but you know, this is not, it's not one of my favorite things. This show, it is what it is. It was colorful. It was Bollywood. That's always exciting. Here's the guy, Manu Narayan. Forgive me if I mispronounced his name. You know, everybody worked very hard. And I'm always trying to find that page that has all the pictures, and then I never can. Here's some pictures, though, from the show. I mean, it was beautifully done. It's just not one of my favorites. I'm sorry. And next on that trip, I saw that evening, Wednesday, May 12th, at 8 o'clock, 20th Century. Now, this isn't the musical on the 20th Century. This is the play, 20th Century. And it starred Alec Baldwin and Anne Heche. You know, I was a big Another World fan, so Anne Heche had played Victoria and her twin sister Marley. So I was really excited to see her. And I got to. Everybody was there. Alec Baldwin was there. It's by Ben Hecht and Charles MacArthur, based on a play by Charles Bruce Milholland in a new adaptation by Ken Ludwig. Boy, there's a lot going on there. And Dan Butler was in it. Julie Halston, Stephen DeRosa. Yes, there's the cast. It was a very entertaining play, I must say. Okay, next I didn't go to New York until December 15th of 2004. See, in those days I would just go to New York. Boy, the credit cards really caught up to me though. So I flew to New York for Christmas, which was very exciting. And I started on December 15th at 2 o'clock with Dracula, the Frank Wildhorn musical. Well, I don't know how that poster hanging. I have a horror wall over there, which I'll show you. I've shown you on other videos, but Dracula was not well reviewed. Oh, listen to my voice. Is that better? I took a drink of water. Yeah, so it wasn't well reviewed, but I always loved Frank Wildhorn musicals. Here is the inside. This was at the Belasco Theater, and it had a really good cast. It had Tom Hewitt. It had the beautiful Melissa Errico. It had Dan Stevenson, Darren Ritchie. Look, Kelly O'Hara when she was still just a girl. Chris Hoke, Bart Chateau, Sean Wiley, and Stephen McKinley Henderson. There they all are. It was a big cast of, oh, and it seems like this show, and I've never gotten the cast recording of this. I don't even know if I think they made one, but you have to order it from like some European country or something weird. Not that European countries are weird. Here's the rest of the cast. Yes, so it seems like at some of the performances they had nudity in it, and at some they didn't. Now, I remember there was nudity in this one, so I was delighted about that, but I don't remember who was naked. It's not important. It wasn't very, very good, but if you like Dracula, you know, it's fun. Now, it was back to Studio 54, and I saw Pacific Overtures, which is a classic. It's another Stephen Sondheim musical, right? Booked by John Weidman. There's the thing. And here's the ticket. It's December 15th. It's 2004. It was a 7 o'clock show. It was a Wednesday. Great cast. Hard work from everyone. I didn't like it. I can't tell you what it's about. At this performance, the role of different, I mean, they put them all on one big page. I just didn't like it. Maybe I should revisit it again sometime. I have the cast recording. I don't like it. I'm sorry. Too serious for me. But you know what wasn't serious on Thursday, December 16th? Dame Edna. I have this poster hanging in my hallway. Dame Edna back with a vengeance. And you know, whenever Dame Edna can come back, she always comes back with a vengeance. But if you see, and of course Dame Edna is Barry Humphries, if you see Dame Edna in a show, a lot of the shows sort of are similar, because Dame Edna will do that little shtick where she talks to the audience and then she asks people what kind of homes they have. You know, you probably don't need to see a lot of Dame Edna shows, but I love Dame Edna myself. Oh. Now, strangely, I don't seem to have a ticket for this. I did buy a ticket, though, or they wouldn't have let me in. But I went to the Radio City Music Hall and saw the Christmas Spectacular with the Rockettes. And look, they must have had a segment that was in 3D, because here are my 3D glasses. Isn't that nice? One time my nephew and I took a tour of Radio City, and you got to meet a real-life Rockette. And we had one that was getting married and moving from New York City to like some suburban place. And I kept thinking, why? Here's all sorts of rockets. If you see your picture and you're watching this, or someone you know, feel free to pause it. I don't remember much about, this show. It was very Christmassy. It was exciting. It was New York. It was a tradition. It was fine. But you know what I did love? That night I saw Brooklyn, the musical. It was Friday, December 17th, 2004. And I saw it at the Plymouth Theater. And I got people, and now I don't know who these signatures are. But I'll tell you who was in the cast. You had Eden Espinosa. You had Kevin Anderson. You had Cleavant Derricks. Ramona Keller. Karen Olivo was in it. It was a fun little show. Brooklyn. It didn't get a lot of respect, but I thought it was fun. A girl was looking for her father, I believe, if memory serves, and she enters in some sort of a singing contest. Yes. Then I saw the very sad play Night Mother, about the mother and daughter, and Brenda Blethyn and Edie Falco were in it. It was at the Royale Theatre. Doesn't the daughter want to commit suicide? She's having some sort of problems. Look, this fella, I almost got scared, and I was there. I know they were both there, but it was like running time 90 minutes without an intermission. Always nice. Then you can go to a bar or something if you want. It's a play by Marcia Norman, and it's directed by Michael Mayer. And yes, here they are. And then I saw Forbidden Broadway, which you'll recall I saw the last time, but this is a different Forbidden Broadway. Ron Bomer was in it, Christine Petty, Jennifer Simard. It's always a fun time. Now, there were 3 other shows that I saw on that trip, but you'll just have to see about them in the next part. Okay, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.